Hello everyone, I hope all is well. I want to say thanks for joining the channel, and if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I want to talk about education. I want to talk about stories about Jamaica. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about things that connect you to Jamaica. Some of them might be okay, some might get you thinking, but just bear with me. And I want to talk about something that is really pressing, the issue of crime, the perception of crime in Jamaica. I went on the soccer field this morning and I was having a conversation before we started to play. And I asked a few individuals who are Jamaican if they plan to return to Jamaica. One said to me, "No, I'll never return. This is my home, United States." And that got me thinking. And I asked him again, why? He said, "Listen, I can't go back to that crime ridden country." The other guy shared the same opinion. But let me tell you this, when I look in Jamaica and I see so many people talking about Jamaica, and I've been into Jamaica several times, and I actually love Jamaica because I'm Jamaican, always visit, it got me thinking, where are they getting the perception that crime is so big? It's a big issue in Jamaica. So let me explore some of the factors now that we can look at and really compare United States somewhat to Jamaica. This is going to be an interesting, reflective sort of discussion I want to have with you. But it is important because we have to set the record straight. Let me tell you, I have been into this country and I have received phone calls that, listen, there's an active shooter possibility at the school, so you have to ensure that you are taking precautions wherever you are. I've been a school teacher and I do have a child that goes to school, and these are consistent phone calls that you might have that there is a possible threat. The school is closed down, but we're going to go deeper because we want to do a comparison. Yes, there are trade-offs, but let us go deeper into the conversation. And by the way, this song was written also for the channel and this particular presentation.
5 years got me there at school this morning. My daughter said she want to leave me and start morning. She said, "Daddy, me no save too much crime a go on. But me a fi ask her where you really want go on." She say United States, the land of opportunity. But me know the truth, me know the full story. Yes.
The full soundtrack is available at the end. Stick around.
I plan to bring you content that is engaging, that allows you to think. Sometimes we'll have some serious conversations, another time we will laugh, and then another time we'll reflect. But that's the order of the day. So I want to have a deep conversation tonight, or if you are somewhere in the afternoon, about the perception of crime in Jamaica. Now, it started on a critical reflection. I was playing soccer with some guys this morning, and on a break, one told me he's from Jamaica, that he's never returning to Jamaica because of the crime. Another said to me, no, he's going to live here. I don't know the context, but I started to think about the crime. Is it a perception or is it a reality? Because we're living in a society in the United States that we have a lot of problems going on. Now, let me categorically state that Jamaica has always had a problem of crime. And it was in the 70s, 80s, you could track that. We have always thought about crime, political warfare, and all that sort of thing that has gone on over a lot of period of time, right? Yeah. Now, we are at a point that for the last 2 years, 2024 to 2025, we are practically made records. Since 2024 and 2025, we have made drastic improvement in relation to our crime rate going down. In the CARICOM, we're now improved. We're better than several other countries, to a point where other countries are asking us for help. There's a debate about how we got there, but the reality is crime has gone down substantially. There's the issue of corruption, but what we're seeing now is a new sort of police force that is engaging, that is taking crime strategies to another level, forensic science, and all the things that you can think about fighting crime in a new era. It's in Jamaica. They have not disclosed some of the strategies they're using, but I'm sure they're using some strategies that people are not thinking about. So while people might have escaped the net before, DNA and so forth is coming back as a very important aspect of finding criminals. Now, yes, you might call your sister somewhere else and she said that she's not coming home. Let's say she lives in Canada. She said, no, I'm hearing so much about the crime happening in Jamaica that I'm fearful. I'd rather live in the United States. Hold that point on the United States for a moment. Now, when my mother was alive, she visited Florida. And I always give her the opportunity to call back home because that's important. When someone goes away, you need to have them making a connection. So I'd buy her phone card or something that she could make her calls and she would gladly use it. One day I overheard her saying to someone, Lord, Miss Mac, every day they rob a bank up here or someone gets killed. And I'm saying to myself, Ma, how you kept saying that? But the reality is she was in a crime zone listening to the news on TV and telling someone in Jamaica about the crime that's here. She was able to make a comparison. So, hold on. Yes, I know we still have a crime problem and we're trying to fight it. And the statistics have, I use the word fight, right? We're trying to solve it. And the statistics, they're showing improvement. And this stats is really true because every day it's add-on police are doing a better format in reporting. Now, I want to take a movement back because we know we have a crime problem. But yeah, what about United States where there are hundreds of mass shootings last year and even this year already? What about United States when black men and black women are likely to be searched, profiled, and accosted? What about black men that were killed trying just to do an ordinary thing? What about black men that run away from policemen and are shot? What about white people who are protesting about the rights of certain things as it relates to immigration and are shot? And of course, there's no investigation. What about a man that's standing up and he's trying to defend someone? Although he's allowed to carry a firearm, he has it in his pocket and they pushed him to the ground and he's dead. And there's no one investigating. And then people say America is up there and Jamaica is there. They classify us as third world. The concept of third world is always in a negative light that people don't know better, but I would say reflect on yourself in the mirror. The issue is that crime is everywhere. So when that person calls someone up in Canada and they're talking and they're saying Jamaica is awful, it's bad, and there are certain things happening in Jamaica now, yes, we understand, but I want to flip it. Why would people want to invest in Jamaica? Why would people from Mexico, from other countries, Spain, you name them, want to invest in Jamaica? Why there's so much investment in Jamaica now? Don't you think business people really think about the cost of investing? Because we are a country that we have land, we have water, we have so many things to offer, and we have individuals that are very talented. They're so talented that we are exporting labor as it relates to nurse, farm workers, teachers, right across the globe. So when you look at it critically, you have to ask yourself, is the crime problem an issue that you can't come back to Jamaica and you're so safe in the United States of America, a country that I have never gone to a school that I have to do training in England or Jamaica about active shooter training. That's an intense training that tells you that if something happens at a school, if you don't defend yourself in not being going out there and defend yourself, but try to create a barrier, push tables, push furniture at the door to prevent an active shooter from coming in. That children here have to go through that active shooter rehearsal or simulation in the event that an active shooter enters the place. And let me tell you, all children, all teachers are trained in that way to respond. Yes, because they have the right to bear arms and it's used differently. So when we look about Jamaica and we think about this, I can send my child, if you had a child in Jamaica, and you might think about incidents happening which we still have to stop and prepare and be zero tolerant on these issues of happening in the classroom or schools. We still have to shut it down, but we don't have the big threats as we have in the United States. You go to a plaza and, of course, there could be an incident of mass shooting and you're ending up on the wrong side because you're at the wrong place, just at the wrong time. So these are aspects we have to look out for. So when someone talks about Jamaica, I think we hear a lot of incidents happening. We are small and anything that happens is blown out of proportion. We have it in social media. We have it politicians talking about it, and people have no respect for other people's life, that they put everything on social media. So we are aware of it. But there's still places that you can live in Jamaica that is safe, and there's places that you will not want to live in because you might not be as safe as you think. But America gives you a false sense of security. We can say that Jamaica is developing its democracy. There are some issues that need to be addressed, though, as it relates to procedures and all that sort of power struggle and conflict of interest that occur, that we need to really think about it, not on political lines, but on what the public's view is on those matters. We have to address them. Notwithstanding, we are in a system that we still can hold politicians to some level of accountability, whether it be shame or blame. Without thinking that they'll come after us. Hopefully they won't. But in another country that exists, there's a possibility that these individuals, if they see anything, they could be challenged or accosted or charged. So we have to look at it. Democracy in the United States somewhat has eroded. We can see where politicians now are being put in a position that if they say something, they will have someone come after them. And people are very fearful. I can tell you that someone white said to me the other day, she's fearful of renewing something because of what might happen. I said, what might happen? She said, she's just worried. I said, if you're worried as a black person, how should I feel? So what I'm saying at this point, do you want to live in a country that you are afraid to say something? I mean, Jamaica might have that position. We saw where a politician was afraid to give evidence, although he will have his security guards around him. So what you expect the small man to do? So we have to kind of clean that up. But let us not say that we're living, if you're living in the United States or England, that you're in a safe space, because these spaces might not embrace you as an individual. Notwithstanding, crime is everywhere. I've talked about the mass shooting. I've talked about individuals being killed in the United States. We saw where a woman was shot at point blank range 3 times in the face. And, in Jamaica, if that had been the case, it would be police brutality. It would be this, and I'm sure you would have investigation. No, none of that form is happening here. So what I'm saying, when you think about your own crime and the issues in Jamaica, we have to make an informed positional statement, not one that is fearful, but one that is critically looking at what's happening in your territory first and seeing how safe you are in America before you make a judgment regarding Jamaica. Because you know what? Because if you come back home and you make your network and you don't go to certain places, and I mean certain places, you don't put yourself at risk, and you practice safe measures, then you could be living like the Canadian I saw living in Jamaica, wonderful place, she said. You could be like someone from Africa living in Jamaica. You could be anywhere else. But notwithstanding, you must understand that there are certain things you will not do. And one thing you have to do is vet your friends, vet those who are around you, just like you do in the United States. And I'm sure you wouldn't live anywhere in the United States, and that is the same about Jamaica. So think about your safety, but don't give up on your home. Because the bottom line, when you think about security and everything, look how relaxed you are if you go back to Jamaica, and look at the tension that you have in the United States. As a matter of fact, Jamaica was once known as a place that individuals who wanted to renew themselves held tourism back in the early times and Jamaica was being developed. People went back to Jamaica because it was such a beautiful place that they could relax. And when I go back to Jamaica, that's how I feel. Just want to touch on crime, but that's the point. And always listen to the song as I go. And remember, this song will bring some information that will allow you to think critically and think consciously about crime and Jamaica and the United States and where we should go and what's happening to our world. That's all for now. Please remember to like and subscribe.
But me a fi ask her where you really want one. She say United States, the land of opportunity. But me know the truth, me know the full story. Yes, we have our struggles, me not go lie about that. But check the statistics, Jamaica fighting back. Don't believe everything you hear on news. Media love itself here, that's why them choose. We're making progress, crime rate I improve. But small island problems get magnified, you know. Check the facts before you're ready to go. Grass not always green up on the other side. Open up your eyes and see with Caribbean pride. In America schools, them have active shooter drill. Teachers have to train fi protect and fi shield. Picnic push refrigerator fi block the door. Practicing survival in a classroom war. Hundreds of mass shootings every single year, but nobody a talk about that kind of fear. Police brutality, politicians under threat. Democracy itself under attack, you bet. My sister overseas, she afraid to come home. She hear the news and feel safe off her room. But when her mother pass, reality set in. She see the love, she see the peace within. Yes, we have challenges, me nah go deny. But every country got them struggle, me no lie. We small so everything seem magnified. But check the data, Jamaica nah run down. Believe everything you hear on news. Media love itself here, that's what them choose. We're making progress, crime rate I improve. But small island problems get magnified, you know. Check the facts before you're ready to go. Grass not always green up on the other side. Open up your eyes and see with Caribbean pride. Social media amplify everything. One incident and the whole world a ring. But think about the places where you think are safe. Them have them own problems. Right in your face, make informed decision. Don't just follow hype. Research your facts before you book your flight. Every paradise got them own strife. Balance security with quality of life. We're blessed with culture, music, food and sun. Opportunities for nurses, teachers, everyone. Yes, we have to work to make things better. Still politicians accountable, that's the deal. But don't run from home without checking the score. Other places might have more problems at them door. All politicians accountable right here. Work for the change, face challenges without fear. Don't believe everything you hear on news. Media love itself here, that's why them choose. We're making progress, crime rate I improve. But small island problems get magnified, you know. Check the facts before you're ready to go. Grass not always green up on the other side. Open up your eyes and see with Caribbean pride. You hear me now? Informed decisions, that's the key. Don't let perception cloud what you really see. Every place got challenges near and far, but home is home, no matter where you are. Bless